Hey Taurus, welcome back to High Vibe. My name is Nell Nicole. I'm going to be your tarot reader and astrologer for today. And we're going to be talking about the energies for February 2021. It's a jam-packed month. I'm starting this month with readings for all of my fixed signs because you guys are being highlighted this month. So I feel like let me go ahead and give you that little bit of extra love and guidance off the top. So welcome Taurus. Let's go ahead and get a little bit comfortable. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to pull a couple of cards from my Mystic Mondays deck. And then we will go in and get an affirmation card from the Universe Has Your... Oh, shoot. I thought it was going to fall. From the Universe Has Your Back deck. I'm a little blown out, aren't I? Okay, let me see. I don't know. There's nothing I can do about it. And then I'm going to pull one of my favorite cards from the Sacred Spirit deck. If you know me, you know this deck, okay? And that's what we're going to round our reading out with today. Before we hop into the tarot spread, I do want to kind of highlight on some of your astrology. So I'm just going to like shuffle my cards and talk. Let me get my notes real fast. I should have gotten some water. I'm thirsty. Okay. So Taurus, this month we've got, well, for a lot of the year, let me not lie. I was going to say a lot of the year we've got Uranus in your first house. Let me see. I can look at my ephemeris real quick. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. Mercury is retrograde if y'all didn't know already. Like, what is going on? Let me look. I want to see what Uranus is doing for the year because I don't know. It starts into... Yeah, child, Uranus ain't moving. That's a slow-moving planet, honey. Okay. So Uranus is actually going to be in your first house for the entire year. And what does that mean? Uranus is the planet of change, abrupt change, new ideas, getting a surge of energy to just like jut off and go and do something that was not in the plan, okay? And what do we know about Taurus? Taurus loves a plan. Y'all need a plan to feel stable and grounded and secure and all of those great Taurian qualities, right? That we know you to have. So I see it as a blessing. I really do. I feel like, you know, Uranus being here is going to provide us with this overhaul, this collective overhaul, right? Because when planets are like the outer moving planets, the ones that move really slow, they have more of a collective influence on us. The inner planets have more of a personal effect on how we're acting. So like I said, Uranus being one of those outer moving planets, it's affecting all of us. The major thing that Taurus really rules is finances and like resources. So collectively, we will be experiencing this sort of overhaul, right, of the way that we deal with, the way that we think about, the way that we manage our finances and resources. And Uranus also rules over technology. It's ruled by Aquarius, and the internet is kind of like, it gives the vibe of like internet-y things, making connections. Like, remember when the internet came about? Nobody could have ever imagined that there would be a thing called the internet, that we use these little boxes to access. Like, Uranus is ruling over all of this 21st century shit that we've got going on. So when you think of it that way, right, a lot of people have made predictions to say that, you know, with Uranus being in Taurus, we were going to see money management make a technological sort of transition into this, like, you know, digital era where money's no longer going to be a thing. And last year we experienced the coins shortage, which is like, whoa, wait a minute, this shit is really manifesting. It's kind of trippy, actually. And then I saw a surge even in like investing and trading, and just those things were trending starting last year. We all know what's been going on as far as like GameStop, Dogecoin, all these things, right? Where even Bitcoin happened, I want to say, like right as we were just getting ready to have that Uranus and Taurus happen, and Bitcoin was like inching up on us and people were not taking it seriously. Then it seems like as soon as Uranus went into Taurus, people were like, Bitcoin this and Bitcoin and crypto that and all this stuff. So it's real. It's a real thing. But for you, this is especially for my Taurus rising. Having Uranus in that first house is going to be like you're experiencing this transformation of self as well as this collective transformation along with everyone else. So you may be wanting to sort of update the way that you communicate with people. You may be using social media a lot more. You may be wanting to establish an online presence, or you know, just using your phone to talk to people a lot more. My Taurus friends usually are pretty chill. Like they be relaxing and doing what they like to do. Gaming, cooking, eating, hanging out with people that they love. So I feel like with Uranus being here, it's going to really put a jolt of energy into your persona. And it's going to make you want to like have this almost like recreation or moment of rebellion, right? Where you just want to break free from the mold, from the way that you're usually doing things and try something new. So that's really what I mean to say. Take that as it resonates for you. You also got Mars in your first house for a little bit for this month. And so, well, is it the month? Let me see. I need to write this stuff out because I just be like, you know what? What's going on? Let me see where Mars at. Yep, Mars is going to be in Taurus for the entire month. So I'm hot. With that being said, you guys are wanting to take action behind this new energy that you're experiencing. You might find yourself in spaces of like just irritation. You know, you could be perfectly fine one minute and then somebody says something and you're like, fuck this, I'm out. Or, you know, you want to just start a fight and then leave type shit because, like I said, Uranus is the rebelliousness of it all. And then Mars is going to give you that sense of like wanting to defend something, wanting to cut at somebody or even, you know, initiating things. It doesn't necessarily have to be anger. Mars does rule over anger, but it also rules over aggression and sex, right? So it could be you wanting to make sexual connections. I mean, you could try online dating. It's indicative of all of that. I'm going to kind of look. Okay, so then the next big thing that's happening is that your friendship house is having a surge. Y'all, I'm giving y'all more of a breakdown than I gave anybody else. I just want you to know. I love you. Okay, so a surge in your friendships, right? So you could be connecting with some really spiritual folks. You got Neptune in your 11th house, people that could really help you to tap into that new energy. Because like I said, Taurus is about the tried and true. They do what works, they do what they like, and they don't really deviate unless they see it necessary. Right now, a lot of necessary deviations are gonna start popping up for you, and it's gonna be up to you whether or not you choose to take these opportunities. You guys like to be very sure about things sometimes. I'm telling you now that the changes that are coming in your life are going to ask for you to surrender to them. And I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and do so because, I mean, it's here for a reason. It's here to teach you something. So life may feel a little unreal. It may feel a little bit like a video game. You know, you're corresponding with people and making plays and talking and doing the whoop, whoop, whoop. But I want you to really make the space for those people who are coming in as like visionaries, right? Because like I said, Taurus likes to but you need to start thinking more progressively. Uranus is it rules Aquarius, excuse me. Aquarius is the most progressive sign. It is in the future, right? It's always thinking about what's next. How can I expand? How can I grow? What do we need to do to get better? And so, you know, you guys can tend to be a little bit stubborn sometimes. Aquarius can too, but they have that inclination to think, what is the solution, right? What is the next step? What is the way out of the problem? And so allow yourself to kind of be taken on a ride by your friends who are more into the flow, more into the, you know, the big vision. And you could be focusing a lot of your energy on what your purpose is as well and wanting to initiate action behind that. Okay, and then you've also got a heavy 10th house this month because that is your Aquarius house. And so there's Saturn, no, excuse me, the sun is there, Mercury is there. So let's break it down. Sun is your ego in Aquarius in 10th house. Mercury is how you communicate and think in Aquarius in 10th house. Jupiter is your blessings in Aquarius in 10th house. Uranus is your values and what you like. And then Saturn is our taskmaster and sort of like the responsibility that comes along with maturation, okay? And needing ownership. And so all of these things are going on in your Aquarius house. What do we know about Aquarius? Aquarius is the progressive sign, right? And so it's gonna, again, you're being asked to stretch, man. You're being asked to stretch in the particular area of your career and your finances and your reputation, the way that you're being seen, excuse me, the persona that you uphold, right? I even see 10th house sort of like as social media. It's like what you project yourself to be. You know, things like LinkedIn and Facebook, they ask you, you know, what do you do for a living? Where do you work? It's like a status machine. They group you with people who are of your same status. And so, I digress. I said all that to say, the way you make money, the way you show up to work, with the things that you do for a career you're gonna start kind of seeing things a little bit differently. You might want to quit your job. You might want to change whole ass careers. You might not know what you want to do for a career, but you just understand that you don't want to do what you're doing right now. Aquarius is, like I said, rules Uranus. They partner, right? And so it's about just like wanting to do your own thing. And feeling like, well, I could go to work every day and do this stupid 9 to 5 and, you know, make my money and be perfectly happy. And you might have lived your whole entire life that way until this moment. And then you're like, wow, I'm not satisfied. I do not feel fulfilled. I don't feel like my purpose is being fed while I'm here. And it's going to start to make you question the spaces that you've established yourself in. Okay? So there could be, I mean, I don't want to sit here and say, I was going to say people could be getting fired. I just feel like the time is coming for you to start thinking about if you are where you want to be. And what we know about energy is that if you're somewhere and you really don't want to be there, you're going to manifest a way out. And so if you don't make the decision to be consciously in control of, you get what I'm saying, your career, then things will start to happen and you will feel sort of like out of control, like what is going on right now. Let me see. So I'm pulling some cards for you now, and we're going to get into what the energies are. Spirit, please give me whatever messages the Taurus collective needs to hear in order to move along their highest vibration in February 2021. What do they need to know, especially as far as this 10th house in Aquarius? Like, what is going on? I feel like your ego is being challenged. I feel like your the way that you speak and convey yourself is going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna almost be challenged a little bit because it's sextiling Uranus, or excuse me, squaring Uranus, squaring Taurus, squaring you. Aquarius and Taurus square each other, which is a hard aspect, which indicates difficulty. It indicates you needing to compromise parts of yourself in order to understand and respect the Aquarius energy, right? And it's going to be hard for you because you and Aquarius are like oil and water, both very similar substances, right? They're both, they have a certain viscosity and they have a certain, they're both liquid. You get what I'm saying? Like they're both wet, but at the end of the day, they are so different. If you mix them, they won't even incorporate into each other because they have a certain respect for one another. And so this is how, when you see signs that square each other, that's kind of how you have to think of it, is like yin and yang. Like we can coexist in the same space, but we will never be the same. We will never agree on every single thing, but that does not mean that we cannot work together and we can't formulate this dynamic, right? And so you're going to be asked to kind of like step into this new dynamic. You're like, this Aquarius friend is bringing you along. It's like, come try shit my way real quick, because your way right now, like you guys are so being influenced by Aquarius on every level. Okay, so it's going to have something to do with you. You're going to be kind of in the spotlight, and like you're going to be asked to keep up the pace with Aquarius. That's one thing. Taurus is a slower moving sign. Aquarius is super fast. It's electricity. It's the internet. It's ether, right? It's lightning. Like I see Aquarius as all these different, very like these things that we almost can't define because they're so fast. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But Taurus is like Earth. It's like Mother Earth. Like, I'm here. Just ground yourself in me. I will support you and all these things. And Aquarius is like, yeah, but I'm over here. I'm trying to go to the moon real quick. You ready to go? Like, come on. I got this spaceship. It's going to work. I promise. I've been working on it. Like, and you just got to kind of go with that flow and abandon the part of you that doesn't do things unless it's sure. Step out on faith. That's another thing that I'm being guided to say, is that Aquarius is going to teach you guys how to have faith in change. Okay? All right. So let's look at the cards that you guys have. There's quite a few cards came out. So the first card that came up was the 5 of Wands. It is in reverse though, so this is a good thing for you. If it is upright, then it indicates either a struggle within yourself or, you know, with you and other people, where it's like you guys are kind of putting up this friction and putting up this fight. against each other for no apparent reason. It's just petty arguments, petty quarrels, you know, people with petty ass energy that just want to come around and ruffle your feathers. They're not a real threat to you, but just the simple fact that they're causing such a ruckus is enough to disturb your inner peace, right? Or like I said, it could be just you having some inner turmoil that, you know, you're at war with yourself. But in reverse, this is telling me that you are beginning to get over the quarrelsome nature. You're coming into a space of like inner alignment and being at one, being at peace with your inner emotions. You know, we all have like our heads, our hearts, our spirit, all these different parts of ourselves, which unless we do the work to incorporate them, they can really work against each other, right? And at that point, I feel like sometimes we in order to protect ourselves, we just go on this default mode where we begin to just get into a routine and just do what works and just leave it at that, right? But right now, I feel like you're actually being guided and supported in taking the steps that you need to take in order to really have some self-love. Like, that's really what I'm feeling for the Taurus reading, is like loving the parts of yourself, the good, bad, and the ugly, really doing some shadow work to uncover, like, maybe you do have a combative nature. Maybe you have caused some unnecessary friction for yourself in life where you're just like, at this point, Uranus is going to, I just feel like all these energies are going to show you your karma, because Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of karma, and it's the one that brings us our lessons. And so you will begin to see where you're failing and begin to see where you need to sort of like put in a little extra love, a little extra work to patch things up within yourself. Okay. You also have the Hierophant, and with the Hierophant, it makes me feel like you guys are making a commitment to yourself, and your beliefs may be changed. You may be asked to switch your perspective about something in order to really come into true alignment with like universal and spiritual truth. Like I said, Taurus can be a little stubborn and unmovable, and once you guys find a method that works for you, you tend to not deviate from it. You don't like change. That's unnecessary, right? But with getting in the flow of the universe, you start to understand that you are a co-creator. You are not solely in control here, and you have to learn how to surrender a little bit. If you look, you know, it's her kind of bringing these two people into union. This could be you and another person, you know, you and, like I said, these spiritual friends that are helping you to incorporate new thought processes, new, you know, schools of thought. You might even be doing some research on different, you know, different religions and stuff like that in order to find the dogma that helps you deal with change. Like, I'm just gonna tell you what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, but new commitments as it pertains to your faith are going to be asked of you. It's going to be asked to be made. You guys are also being asked to have like patience with yourself. Taurus actually is a sign of patience to me. I think that you guys have a wonderful, beautiful willpower about yourself, but that's going to be one of the traits that I feel like your consistency is really going to serve you during this, honestly, the next couple of years, because you've got some planets that it's going to take a while for them to get out of your 10th house. Namely, Jupiter and Saturn are going to be there working with you, working on you for quite a while. And so even Uranus is such a slow moving planet. I don't know when Uranus is going to come out of Taurus off the top of my head. I don't know. But you guys can go Google it and find out. Honestly, like, I'm not the end all be all. I say that to say this is a long process. This is not something that's going to just be one and done after February is up. Oh, you guys are all transformed and done. No, this is literally like you being, your soul is being called to the altar, Taurus. Okay, you got some work to do. All right, you guys have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and so usually this is someone going and making an offer of a long-term commitment. You know what I'm saying? Really wishing to have long-term stability and being willing to like learn what they need to learn and put their feet in place in order to become a master of, you know, finance, of resources, of tangible things, all earth sign things, right? But it's in reverse. So at this point, I feel like you guys are being asked to surrender yet again. Taurus is really good with like finances and money. Y'all rule that shit. It is what it is, but it's reversed. So this is giving me like, it's not time for you to be trying to, I really feel like it's not time for you to be trying to tell people what you know. It's time for you to do some learning. It's time for you to do some learning. And you've even got Capricorn 9th house. You got Pluto in your 9th house. So yes, a change in beliefs, a transformation in your beliefs. It's time for you to become the student again. And to even gain some mentors, maybe. Like you are not, it's not, what am I trying to say? You have to learn to just accept. It's not about what you can do out in the world or how you can affect change in the world. Not right now. It's about how the world can affect change on you. Okay? And you allowing yourself to be like susceptible to that. And not disputing things if they don't have a tangible, you know, asset attached to them. Don't just dismiss things because you can't see what somebody is trying to get you to feel. Period. Okay, then we've got strength, the strength card in reverse as well. So this is what I'm saying, like this in upright, right? It's about taming the inner beast. It's about having self-control. It's about being in a space of like regality and grace and like, you know, not letting your internal struggles sort of show on the outside. In reverse, it is vulnerability, right? The opposite of strength is vulnerability. And so, I mean, not really. Really, they're the same thing. But it's calling us to that other side of strength, right? What is the other side of it? It's being open to saying, I'm not strong right now. How do I get stronger? I don't have a system to hold me down right now. You know what I'm saying? So how do I find that? In admitting to people, to friends, to people in your network, that you do not have all the answers and that you do not have it all figured out. And that maybe the way that you've been living your life has been more of a means to an end than you actually living in your divine spiritual purpose, right? You guys have the earth realm mastered, but now it's really going to be time for you to deal with the unseen and the unknown, okay? It's a very exciting time. I love it for you. The Ace of Wands is indicative of there being a new beginning. New ideas coming to the forefront. You guys really wanting to take action behind these ideas. And so, like I said, I feel like the action is going to be in transforming the career life, figuring out like, how can I use my time, my energy, my reputation, right? My weight, the work that I've done in the past. How can I bring that into a situation in which I can be of service to people in a way that makes me feel full and makes me feel like I'm being a guide and being helpful. But first, I need to figure out what my values are. I need to figure out what my beliefs are. I need to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how to really navigate who's doing it, how I'm trying to do it. Let me go find me a mentor or two, you know what I'm saying, so I can really have that 10th house support system for myself. Let me go look at some other people who are doing the type of work that I would love to have as a part of my life, and break myself free from thinking that there's only one way to do it. It's a new beginning for you. It's a whole new entering into a whole new realm. By the end of this, like I say 2.5, 3 years from now, you will be a totally different, transformed person. And I really believe that the things that you're experiencing now, you know, will be a testimony. I've been saying that about myself, but I think it's something that you guys in particular will really be experiencing for yourselves because of your relation to the Aquarius and all that shit that's going on over there. The last card that you guys have is the Solid Foundation card. And I love it so much because I feel like you're going to take these new ideas and these connections with people and these, you know, what am I trying to say? I want to stop saying the word ideas. These new concepts, right? To live by, to believe in, and use it to really create stability for yourself, which is all you ever really want in life, is to be stable so you can be comfortable, so you ain't got stress. Tell me I'm wrong. If I'm right, leave it down in the comments. Okay, so you got the Four of Wands. I love the Four of Wands because it talks about us learning how to be creative and responsible all at the same time. It's like, you know, if you have a dream in some sort of creative field, it's like no longer being a starving artist, but, you know, actually getting gigs and people actually buying your book and you being able to pay your bills with that shit and being like, you know what, this feels good. It just feels, it feels authentic. It feels right. I'm doing things that fuel me, and it's also feeding me at the same time. So I love this for you guys. February is going to be a month where you need to do some thinking. Mercury will be retrograde for most of the month, all the way up until the 22nd. And with that being said, please take it slow. Y'all know the tried and true. Don't sign no contracts. Don't start nothing new right now. But what you can do is begin thinking differently. What you can do is begin doing some research on the low-ski. What you can do is begin talking to people and just having, you know, casual conversations about the way that they're doing things. How are you living life? How are you coping? How do you create freedom for yourself? How are you liberating yourself and nurturing yourself all at the same time, and not, you know, being driven crazy by all of the flux